All right, Shabbat Shalom, peace and blessings to the chosen. Everybody who tuning in who will tune in. I pray everything good with everybody out there today and that it has been all week.
Yeah. Please watch over me. Please watch over mine. Don't let them sin for me. Don't let them sin for mine. Can't go to truth music, page in the Hebrew code, right? Let's go. Yeah, we gon' prove it. Truth music, Hebrew Nation stand up. Yeah. I ain't the leader of the squad. No. I'm just trying to lead them off the block. Lift your hand to the sky, all praise the most high and son. Leader of the flock, I ain't leader of the squad. Nah. I'm just trying to lead them off the block. Lift your hand to the sky, all praise the most high and son. Leader of the flock, I ain't leader of the squad. Nah. I'm just trying to lead them off the block. Lift your hand to the sky, all praise the most high and son. Leader of the flock, I ain't leader of the squad. Nah. I'm just trying to lead them off the block. Lift your hand to the sky, all praise the most high and son. Leader of the flock, I ain't leader of the squad. All praise to the Father, he the only one very time to show the people how to really move in the spirit. Manipulation of the sisters, that's bigger me. Uplifting my brothers, that was bigger me. Soldiers get ready for the infantry. Haters can't stop what I'm doing, can't get rid of me. My brothers keep up the pyramid. Cain and Abel gotta watch them, no kidding. King can't box me in, no room for me. Gotta test a friend, I'm proving it. Let every man be a liar, no truth in him. The Father ain't with him, can't root for him. No matter what streets or the truth they in. Just cause they say blood, you gotta prove a friend. Tired of teaching them where they ever learn a lesson. Never burn a bridge, let's block the blessing. Ain't no love in these streets, ain't no love for me. They love me with their mouth to the service. Where they at when it's time to put word in? Time to serve the eye, but don't get nervous. You don't need a squad when you do it for y'all. Can't douse my fire, I'm flaming high. The Father gave me all this game, my God. I represent the tribe, believers, full life, so live. I ain't gotta ask when I hit the stage, they go live. 10,000 hours in the studio when they ask how. You keep me coming like a prayer draw, they on my ass, man. Leader of the squad, no. I'm just trying to lead them off the block. Lift your hand to the sky, all praise the most high and son. Leader of the flock, I ain't leader of the squad, nah. I'm just trying to lead them off the block. Lift your hands to the sky, all praise the most high and son. Leader of the flock, I ain't leader of the squad, nah. I'm just trying to lead them off the block. Lift your hand to the sky, all praise the most high and son. Leader of the flock, I ain't leader of the squad. Nah, I'm just trying to lead them off the block. Lift your hand to the sky, all praise the most high and son. Leader of the flock, I ain't leader of the squad.
I'm just trying to lead them off the block. Trying to be a feeder of the flock. Reading people but believing that they not. Poison in the needle of the shot. Slave to the seekers, it's a rock. Slave to the fiend for the rock. Taped in, slave by the cops. I'm just trying to lead them out of blackness. Help them see the snares and the distractions. Teach them about the tigers and the dragons. Crouching in the hidden and the acting. Fear for the engine of the madness. The trap is a trap. Teach it like a toy. Bang in the box. See the cell or casket. Scale in the plastic. Try to show them no, but they always lash out. Why they ain't never had it. They ain't have a daddy. Trying to the savage game. Bang to the game. Some status ain't the game. When them double L's come up with your name on the status. Kill all the men. They ain't taking no prisoners. Take all our women and turn them against them. System they built out the backs of our children. See the serpent and war with the lizards. Stole it out from us. What more can we give them? Drowning in debt, but we started as lenders. Masculine, feminine, clashing the genders. We sat and we welcome remember Zion battle, Babylon rivers. Winning and sent on the battle of the people in front of us. Only to bring us together like zippers. And it's all in the scriptures.
Hello, King. Hello, King. Hello, King. Hello, King.
All right. Peace and blessing to the chosen. All praises to the Most High, the creator of the heavens, the earth, the seas, and everything that's in them. The song that you would play with by Cold Rain in Hebrew featuring myself, Infantry. Go check bro out. Like, subscribe, comment on his page, support what he's doing. From my personal dealings with him. You know, the brother got real love in him for the nation, you know what I mean, and for the work of the Most High. Before we jump into it, something that's been on my spirit too, things that I've learned over time and seeing that other people are dealing with it. And, death is the subject matter that I'm talking about right now. But I want us to be aware and have wisdom on the case that be aware of the doors that's open during the time of death in our lives. And what I'm talking about is, some people, a spirit of guilt will come in, from trying to deal with losing a loved one or somebody that's dear to you. The spirit of fear will come in, the spirit of suicide, homicide, want to do drugs, different things to try to cope with the pain. Those things that we turn to, if we're not turning to the Most High, understand this: you can get high as you want, you can get drunk as you want, you can get as violent and run from it as much as you want to. But when you sober up, if you don't face that, you're gonna still have to deal with it in the long run. All right, so our peace is found in the Most High. Our peace is found in the Creator, and understanding what's going on. You got anything before we jump in?
I'm not you for me to be good, King.
Cool. All right. So moving further with the message, though, Saints. So today's message and word is like the title say. Kanye said that we are the true Jews. Now, the importance of this, brothers and sisters, is this. This is a person who has a level who will be categorized as a mogul. A heavy influence, got a reach that passes not only what's in the United States, but all in England, all over the world. So to hear him say that, or for him to say that, and then we see the backlash and what's going on with him, we know that he's been controversial. This is not a message to glorify Kanye. This is a message to glorify the Most High and say that he uses who he wants to. As we see and hear, you got articles showing it. You got the interviews where he's saying this. If this man is in connection with billions of people, imagine how many people heard that who didn't know that and decided to go research it. How many seeds got planted? How many seeds got watered? And through that, the Most High get the increase. So we servants of the Most High, if we for the people, if we saying that we want our nation to wake up and be saved and salvaged and see that this kingdom come down, that ours may rise forevermore, then that's a part of the Most High's work. That's to be respected. All right, what we want to do is go through the message, or we'll go through the scriptures, get scriptures on verifying for those who they may not be familiar with this milk. Understand that we are the truth. What is he talking about? What did he get the idea from? How is he, so confident in saying it? Let's get an understanding on it. Desiring the sincere milk of the Most High. This is the same type of information that changed the lives of many brothers and sisters even now. Brothers and sisters being in the world, not just in the streets, but being shysted. Being anything but what the Most High called us to be. Recognizing ourselves, looking in the mirror, saying that we are nothing. We're not worth it. We're not royalty. We're not special. But the whole time it was in the Bible. And you had the people around, the oppressing nations and heathens, different nations who agreed to keep us from this information, to keep us in the dark. Therefore, keeping us disconnected from the Most High. Therefore, keeping us from tapping into our true power and keeping them above us with their foots on our necks. All right, so all praise to the Most High. Let's open up with Revelation, though, because we are the salt of the earth. Revelation 7. This is what we're going to open up with. We need to understand, why is it important to know that we are the true Jews? Even within that seeing and knowing, a brother or sister could come out and say, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Buddhist, I'm an atheist, I'm a Scientologist, I'm a New Age believer. And nothing will happen. But the moment a brother say that, we the true Jews, we are God's chosen people, you get canceled. You catch backlash. It's not only Kanye. Remember what happened with Nick Cannon. Mm-hmm. Remember how they did him, when he was in an interview with the Professor Griff. So we got to recognize and understand, brothers and sisters, that if a person or people or group of people would choose to counsel you out for saying something like that, man, it must be something to it. Why is it so important that they want to counsel them?
Okay, well, just interject for 1 second. You said something I don't want to get lost. I don't want to forget it. I just want to
let's go
touch on it. Can you give me Sirach chapter 13, verse 23?
All right. So
What you were saying about what he was mentioning about how Kanye, how much of a voice that he has and a reach that he has. He has a large reach. And that would persuade people to listen to him. And I'm going to give you that in the book of Sirach, chapter 13, verse 23. Read, King.
all right, Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, verse 23. And it reads, it says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue.
So when a rich man speak, everybody be quiet. Read.
And look what he saith.
And everybody gonna look to what he said. Let me listen to him. He gotta know what he talking about. He a man of stature. He Kanye West. He got Yeezys. He, you know what I'm saying? He's well known. He's a rapper. You know, he has a large following. Read, King.
They extol it to the cloud.
Man, they extolled it to the clouds. Everybody talking about it. Read.
But if the poor man speak,
But you been had Israelites out here been telling you this. You had Israelites on the corners that put it day in and day out. So I don't want our people to get lost and to just think like the brother was saying, this is not about Kanye. This is the fact that, man, the Most High can use any vessel he wants to bring the truth to the world. And just so happened, you know, Kanye is willing to put his career, his life, you know, basically his longevity online, you know, for the word of the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give him credit for that. But I want to also extol our brothers, our elders, you know, that's been in this truth, that's been in this walk, that been waking up many of our people up day in and day out. So we want to give them they do credit too. And we want to most definitely give the Father his credit for, you know, not having those blinders on our eyes that we couldn't see. So I just want to hit on that, King.
You got to finish it off?
Oh, go ahead.
It says, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this?
Man, who is this, man? You just, bro, that you used to go to school with me? Now, don't you work at the corner store? Read.
And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow
And if they
him.
catch him in any type of way that they can do him in, they will. Read. You got that's it on it? Okay, go ahead, King.
Indeed, all praise to the Most High. Yup, Revelation 7, though.
I got you, King.
All right, so the point that I'm going to be driving, family, is our true heritage and our culture and our identity, and to understand how special we are.
Yep.
How important we are, how important identity is.
Praise is King.
The example given before, somebody robbed you. and you get a chance to say, and you just so happen to call the law enforcement. When the law enforcement get there, they're going to ask you for a description. How did he look? What was his height? Can you tell us anything about this fellow or this woman? Identity is important. They want to know who you are. When you go get your license, you got to have identity, some type of credential that's showing at least your name. That's even with a state license for a profession. Identity is important. Let's go. Revelation 7, start with 1.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 7, verse 1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth.
Holding the 4 winds, go ahead.
That the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Verse number 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. Verse 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
All right, stop. So it says, hurt not the earth, the trees, and nothing else till we have sealed the servants of the Most High God in their forehead. So the Bible tells us that we're supposed to understand the scriptures, and we get understanding from the Most High when the word is delivered to us precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. So the question becomes, okay, who are the servants of the Most High? Not according to society, but according to the Father himself. Hold it, go to Isaiah 41:8.
Yes, sir.
Who are the servants that needed to be sealed before the Most High released these troubled winds? or these winds of destruction? Let's find out. Isaiah 41:8.
Gotcha, King.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 8. And it reads, "But thou, Israel, art my servant."
Israel, my who?
Art my
He
servant.
said Israel is his servant. So when we hear the word Jew, let's get some education on this. When you read in the Bible and the Most High casted the Israelites out of the land and sent them into captivity, whether it was Babylonian captivity or the captivity under the Persians, the Medes, or the Grecians, the Romans, and even to modern day. But after the first captivity with the Babylonians, the tribes was always divided into, the tribe of Reuben, the Reubenites. You will have the Levites, you have the Judites, and the word Jew comes from Judah. But collectively, each tribe was called by the name of the patriarch. After the captivity, any Israelites that returned from Babylon, they just said, you know what, we're gonna call anybody from any tribe a Jew. So when you hear the word Jew, is referring to any Israelite from any tribe. All right, now that we had that understanding, he said, Israel, which these Jews come from, said, you are my servant. You Negroes, you people with the Negroes who came off the west coast of Africa, from the transatlantic slave trade, from the sub-Saharan slave trade. I would have both dropped some of us off in England. It dropped us off in Central America, in Brazil, and all through these other areas, all in Haiti. I'll read that again.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
But thou, Israel, art my servant.
Israel, you are my servant. Go ahead.
Jacob, whom I have chosen.
Who he have chosen. Jacob, who he chosen. Go ahead.
The seed of Abraham, my friend.
The seed of Abraham. So from Abraham, those of us who come from a background where we understand that Abraham had a son. He had more sons, but the promise was passed down to Isaac. And then Isaac had two sons, but the promise was passed down to his son Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. This is the same God. Said Abraham was God's friend, or the Most High's friend. This is the same heritage that we have. All right, so this is important because we don't understand that covenant that the Most High made with Abraham, that was passed down to Isaac, that was passed down to Jacob. Listen, we being the children of Israel, we still have to uphold that covenant to keep the commandments of the Most High. Thank you, Saint. To keep the commandments of the Most High God. All right, go back to that Revelation 7.
Yes, sir.
Revelation 7. So Israel is his servant. So until he seal his servants. So let's say, oh, brother, you going off. His servants is anybody. The Bible going to explain itself to show you exactly who those servants are. To show you that he's talking about those who come from the tribes of Israel.
1 second. Can you say Revelation 7, right?
Revelation 7.
Gotcha. Hold on. Let's see.
Pick up with verse 3 when you get it.
All right.
Hit the like button, subscribe, share the video.
I got you, King. 7.
Indeed.
We're going to pick up on
Verse 3.
That's right. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 3. Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
Verse 4.
The book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed.
Mm-hmm.
And there was sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
So the number that was sealed in our forehead was 144,000 of all the children of Israel. Now, this is something else, because again, I'm driving the point of how special we are. Life itself, brothers and sisters, us being Israelites, us being the chosen, the Most High got it embedded with little signs and signals to refer back to us and how much he cared for us. All right, we're going to get to that though. Verse 5, what did it say?
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 5. Of the tribe of Judah.
Of the tribe of Judah.
Were sealed 12,000.
Was sealed 12,000. This is one of the sons of Israel. This is an Israelite. This is a Jew. Said of the tribe of Judah was sealed 12,000. Keep going.
Of the tribe
of Reuben were sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm. The firstborn of Israel. Keep going.
Of the tribe of Gad was sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Asher was sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Naphtali was sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Manasseh was sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Simeon was sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Levi was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar was sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Zebulun was sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000.
So collectively, brothers, is going through showing you that the servants, as we read in Isaiah 41:8, are Israel. These are Israelites, the ones that are the servants, this categorized as the servants of the Most High. All right, so what's being established is these are the same 144,000 that's going to stand on the mountain with the Messiah, singing a new song, singing the song of Moses. All right, to be the government, the governing body with the Messiah. Read the next verse, though.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude,
Mm-hmm.
which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne
Mm-hmm.
and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, which sit upon the throne, and unto the
All
Lamb.
right, so aside from that 144,000, brothers, you see these other, the rest of the multitude that's standing before the throne. All right, but what we driving from these particular verses just then was that the servants sealed were Israel. Are Israel, is Israelites. All right, so this is important why we come to a time where they told us we were everything but this. This is why they want to counsel anybody who's speaking on this subject like that. Because the moment that we figure out that we are the chosen and how special we are, we start to return back to our power. And by doing so, as brothers and sisters been waking up in an explosion over these past years, couple decades, as a matter of all praise to the Most High for that. Listen, we seeing the curses that was put on us for breaking the covenant with the Most High, as recorded in Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 26. We see these curses being lifted off us and being placed on our enemies, being placed on the ones who did afflict us, who placed on the one who came confederate to cut us off. All right, let's go to Revelation 21.
Yes, sir.
Revelation 21. Show you something else. So we are the salt of the earth, but the Most High is so cold. He said, you know what? I'm gonna make you the salt of heaven too. I'm gonna verify that. Revelation 21, start with 10 when you get it.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain,
Mm-hmm.
and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem,
The holy Jerusalem, go ahead,
descending out of heaven from God.
descending out of heaven from the Most High. This is another message within itself, but to explain to brothers and sisters who have not been studious in the oracles of the Most High God, in the book, to understand this, the people not going to heaven. New Jerusalem is coming to the earth.
That's right, King.
All right, now when people pass, you know, you're gonna be separated according to how you live, whether it was righteous or wicked. So if you're righteous, you're going to Abraham's bosom. If you're wicked, you're going to torments. But after that, when judgment day comes, this is where the people gonna be directed to, whether to the lake of fire and brimstone or to the New Jerusalem. But look how special we are. Go ahead. What do you got?
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 11. Having the glory of the Most High, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like jasper stone, clear as crystal.
Clear as crystal. Keep going.
Verse 12. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates.
How many gates?
12
It
gates.
had 12 gates. Keep going.
And at the gates, 12 angels.
12 angels, an angel at each gate. Go ahead.
And names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
The names of who?
Which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
So when the Most High fashioned New Jerusalem, He said, you know what, I'm gonna give it 12 gates. I'm gonna place angels at each gate, and I'm gonna put the names of each tribe on each gate. This how special we are, brothers and sisters.
Oh, praise.
This how much the Most High have us in man. Say, look, the place that people want to live right and trying to get to me and live with me forevermore in eternity. When they come see me, guess what? They're gonna have to see these gates that got the names of the tribes of Israel on. Which gate you going through? I want to make it through the gate. All right. So, but with it, I made mention of how special we are and it being tokens within life. So it's 12 tribes. So the question comes, how many months are there? It's 12 months. When the sun is at its highest peak of the day, what hour is it? It's 12 o'clock. Even though it's within our time frame, but they mark a new day at 12 midnight. All right, so let's go further. Talking about 144. It's supposed to be 24 hours in a day. The Most High made everything in not 7 days, in 6 days. He rested on the Sabbath. So 24 times 6 gives you what? Somebody drop it in the comments. What's 24 times 6? So while they getting it, let's go to Jeremiah.
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, instead of Jeremiah, let's go to Amos 3.
Amos 3?
Indeed.
Gotcha.
What's 24 times 6? Somebody drop it in the comments. He says, 6 days shall work be done. 6 days shall work be done.
I got you. Okay. Amos 3 and 6.
Amos 3, we're going to start with 1.
Got you. Let me know when you're ready.
144, victorious one. That's right. 144 hours. It's 144 hours in 6 days. 144. Now you add those 3 zeros, you get that 144, 144,000. All right. All praise to the Most High. But Amos 3, start with verse 1.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you.
So hear this word, brothers and sisters. Hear this word, family.
O children of Israel.
O children of Israel. This is what the Most High spoke. Go ahead.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
He said, you only have he known of all the families of the earth. Out of all the people in the world, all the different types of nations that he created, he said, I only dealt with you. Go ahead.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Therefore, he gonna punish us now. So the question becomes for some, they say, well, if we so special, why is it that we suffer the way we do? Why are we the people that go through so much hardship? Why is it that when we go to our neighborhoods, everything is run down? Why is it that when they put the new basketball goal up in the community center and the new parks, it look beautiful when they make it, but then we get in there and everything become trashy and defiled? Why won't they put the Chick-fil-A in the hood? All these questions because we detach from who we truly are. This is a part of the curses. If we knew we were royalty, guess what? We will operate and move like that. But they've trained us and educated us in a way to not be so. All right, so he said, you own it. All right, let's get a precept for it. Go to Psalm 147. Psalm 147. Psalm 147, verse 19 and 20. That's what we're going to get. Psalm 147, verse 19 and 20.
147.
Indeed.
Okay, 19 and 20. I got you.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, chapter 19. Verse 19. Chapter 147, verse 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation.
He have not dealt so with any nation. So he revealed the secrets and all of that. Go to Deuteronomy 4.
Yes, sir.
Deuteronomy 4. We're going to tie it in. We're going to get something else to line it up. He ain't dealt with nobody in the fashion that he has dealt with us. And understanding that we being so special. Listen, the people who hate how special we are, they know and understand it. They fear that. Even so much so to where not maybe a year or so ago, a couple years, I did a message on resurrection. And within the message, it was information about how they're seeking to find a way to live forever. You know what I mean? They taking people's heads, dead people's heads, and storing them in chambers and saying, listen, when we get the technology, we're going to attach this head to another body and bring them back to life. Some, you know, and they showed us this in Futurama, in the cartoon, right? So their plan is they want their kingdom to last forever. Never let the Israelites get on top again. But all praise to the Most High. When we read Revelation, he said, okay, I'm gonna make it to where you're gonna seek death and you ain't gonna be able to find it. And you're gonna be tormented. You're gonna bring hell to them that they trying to dodge. What you got?
It's a book of Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse.
Deuteronomy 4. Let's see. He said, well, it started with verse 5.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding
So
people.
the commandments and what the Most High gave us, the understanding that he showed, he said, we are the people who, the creator. Listen to what I'm saying. The same one that gave the bird its colors and its wings, and the ability to take flight. The one who made, you know what I mean, life itself. He said, out of all of my creation, these people here, I'm going to tell them exactly the things that I actually like and that I don't like. I'm going to tell them what I love and what I hate. No other race, no other nation did he deal with in the amount of family. So understanding that, he said other nations are going to see how y'all got these commands, how y'all got order, how y'all got my structure, and they're going to say, man, this is a wise nation. So now we seeing juxtaposed to it or parallel to it. Guess what? This is why they tell us, no, you can do what you want. Don't obey the Most High. Break all the rules. Rules were made to be broken. These type of things. They say all you got to do is love and believe. All right, but the book tells us that by believing, the person that believes, they're going to take heed to the commandment. I will keep going though.
Verse 7. For what nation is there so great, who have God so near unto them?
So what nation ever had the Creator so close to them? We that nation. All right, but we're going to get some edification on what happened. Where did the separation come in at? At what point was it that the Most High turned his back on us? You know what I mean? And we being killed in the street and we being enslaved. All right, finish that verse out, son.
Yes, sir. Verse 8. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 8. And what nation is there so great that have the statutes and judgments and so righteous as all the law, which I set before them you this day?
So be it. All right. You got something?
Yeah, King, give me let me see. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 7, verse 23.
All right.
I want to play this video, King, for the people. We're going to show you guys a video. Like we said, the message in the video is Kanye said that we would acknowledge the fact that black people are the Israelites. You mind playing that video, King?
No. All right. Let's see. You want to share the screen?
And I want everyone to be real careful. I mean, pay close attention to what he said, what's being said.
In Black America, we just don't have the health care that we need to even be able to successfully deliver our babies. Planned Parenthood was made by Margaret Sanger with the KKK to murder Black people. And it is really eugenics, and we are in our Holocaust, as us as Blacks, as Jews, as the last tribe of Judah, the 12th tribe, the blood of Christ, because we are Jew also. And if you ask a Jewish person about their race, they don't say it's a race, they say it's the people. And if we considered ourselves to be more than just a color and more than just a race, but to be a people, we would treat our people and people differently altogether.
Last question. Tell me about your kids, because every time you got 20 seconds. Yeah, what's the question? Tell about your kids.
I love my kids, I protect my kids, and I'm actually here to still cover and protect their mother. And with my influence, my protection, and my stance as the priest of the home will influence so many others in Jesus' name.
All praises. Did you notice what the brother said? Priest, he said he acknowledged himself as being a priest, as a leader in his home. Can I get 1 Peter 2:9?
1 Peter 2:9. All right.
But what Kanye was saying was actually right. Imagine if we saw Christ in one another. Imagine we knew that. Imagine our young brothers in the street knew that they were Israelites. Just imagine how much more love and more gratitude we'll show each other. It's all because we don't know. We've been destroyed, as the book of Hosea 4:6 say. We've been destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Give me that, King.
All right, 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9, and it reads, "But ye are a chosen generation."
We are a chosen generation. We was picked. It's just like you got your favorite pair of socks. You know what I'm saying? You get, the Most High chose us out of all the nations on the earth. Read, King.
A royal priesthood.
We supposed to be a royal priesthood. Now, when you go around the neighborhood, do you see a royal priesthood? We don't see that because our people have lost their identity. Read, King.
And holy nation.
We supposed to be a holy nation. What does holy mean? Give me Romans chapter 7, verse 12, right quick. What does it mean to be holy? Not a person going to church every day, every Sunday. Not a person saying they don't do this, they don't do this. But this is going to tell you exactly what it means.
All right, the book of Romans chapter 7, verse 12. It says, "Wherefore the law is holy."
The what?
The law is holy.
Okay.
And the commandment holy. And just and good.
So that's what it means to be holy. Us keeping the law, statutes, and commandments as a nation. Go back to that, King.
All right, 1 Peter 2:9 again. It says, "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and a holy nation, a peculiar people."
A peculiar meaning that you some precious. Read.
"That ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light."
And that's what Kanye is doing. He's been called out of darkness into a marvelous light, because we know Hollywood and all this stuff is darkness. It's evil. It's wickedness. King, give me 1 Samuel chapter 7, verse 23.
All right.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 7, verse 23.
1 Samuel 7.
Yeah, chapter 7. I think it's that 7. Yeah, 2 Samuel. Give me that 7 and 23. My apologies.
No, you're all right.
Yeah.
2 Samuel 7 and 23. Get it. All right. It says, 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 23. "And what one nation in the earth is like thy people?"
Man, what people in this earth is like the so-called black man? Name another group of people. When you think about the greatest boxer, who you think? Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson. When you think about the best golfers, Tiger Woods. When you think about basketball, when you think about the singers, we the salt of the earth. But we have became more so entertainers. But everything that we do, everything that we touch is golden. We look at your comedians. You got like Fred Sanford and different people, man. The Most High made us a special people. We are very unique, special people. Read, King.
"Even like Israel, whom the Most High went to redeem for a people to himself."
Man, we are people into himself, right?
"And to make him a name, and to do for you great things and terrible."
Man, he gonna do for you great things and terrible. The great things if you keep the commandments, and terrible things if you don't. Read.
"For thy land before thy people, which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt, from the nations and their gods."
Well, he want to take us away from trick-or-treating. He want to take us away from Christmas. He want to take away from all these things that we have been indulging in due to the fact we do not know who we are.
Come on with it.
Real talk. Give me Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 14. We have been comfortable with captivity. We have been comfortable with living a mediocre type of lifestyle because it's simple put like this. Our people don't know. Now you had a lot of people come against Kanye West. You had Lil Boosie come against Kanye West. You know why? Because in some cases, some of those celebrities do know who they are, but in most cases, they've been blinded by the money to the point where they don't even give a care or who they are. You know what I'm saying? Read, King.
All right, where we at?
Jeremiah 2:14.
All right, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 14. Is Israel a servant?
Man, is we a servant? We were made, other nations were made to serve us. But because we didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, now we the servants. When you look at the like you go some of these restaurants, who cooking in the back? The janitorial, who cleaning it up? You know what I'm saying? When you look at these low-paying jobs and stuff, it's mainly our people that, you know, that are employed. Read, King.
Is he a homeborn slave?
Read.
Why is he spoiled?
Why is he spoiled? Why is this happening? Why are you in this condition that you in? Why are we as a people? Why do we pack the ghettos? Why do we have the poorest health care? Why are we the first fired, the last hired? Read, King. Give me Baruch 4:6.
Okay. Let me share some just for clarity's sake though.
Yes, sir.
Seeing that it said, is he a servant? You know, because we started with Revelation talking about Israel being a servant. All right, in the capacity, what we was reading in Isaiah 41:8 and Revelation 7:3, the servant is meaning that you are taking up, you know, the position of doing the works of the Most High. You are the priest of the Most High. But here in Jeremiah 2:14, it's saying, is he a servant? Is this person a slave? Just like what he says, is he a homeborn slave? Is he not a ruler? Is he not to be the head instead of the tail? All right. Now you want Baruch what, Saint?
Chapter 4, verse 6.
Baruch 4 and 6. All right, let me get there.
And I know sometimes our people, we get weary. You know, we get tired. You know, especially like our people that have been in this truth for a long time. And sometimes it becomes difficult for us to endure due to the fact you might don't have other brothers or other sisters to congregate with. You know, it gets long. Then your family member, they all into what, you know, Christianity and the other stuff, and they get weary. But hold on, we see these prophecies being fulfilled. We seeing these earthquakes everywhere. We seeing entertainers such as Kanye West waking up, and not just him. We have a plethora of other celebrities that came to the forefront, revealing that so-called black people are the Jews. So we seeing these things. So I just want to encourage everyone to stay strong. Don't give up. Don't give up the fight. Remember the scriptures say our salvation is nearer than what we believe. We see these things come into place. We see these things happening. So don't be discouraged, brothers and sisters. Read, King.
All right, the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 6. You were sold to the nations.
You were sold to the nations. This is how we know we the true Israelites. Name another group of people that were sold, that was put on cargo slave ships and was sold and had their names changed, their language, everything taken away from them. Name another group of people. Read.
Not for your destruction.
But the Most High we didn't go into captivity to destroy Israel completely. He said, can you measure the depths of the seas? If you can measure the depths of the seas, then he'll destroy the Israelites. So that ain't happening. Read, King.
But because ye moved the Most High to wrath.
We made the Most High angry by what? Following out of the other gods. Read.
You were delivered unto the enemy.
You was delivered into your enemies. Understand that these are not your friends, but we kill each other. Read, King, verse 8.
Verse 7.
Verse 7, yeah.
It says, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils.
You've been sacrificing unto devils. When you doing your Egyptology, when you doing all your Quran, when you do all the Buddha, when you do all these other things, Islam, whatever it is, anything outside of keeping the commandments, man, you gonna provoke the Most High to anger. Read.
And not to the Most High.
Read.
Ye have forgotten the everlasting power.
Man, we done forgot our God. Read.
That brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem, that nursed you.
And because we have forgot our everlasting God, you know what happened? Hosea 4 and 6 came.
4 and 6.
Yep. The book of Hosea 4:6. Remember, the scripture said, ye have forgotten the everlasting God. That was the book of Baruch chapter 4, verse 8. It said, you forgotten the everlasting God. And because of that, look, this what happened. Read, King.
The book of Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Why are they destroyed for a lack of knowledge? Read.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
There we go. He didn't find, when you forget him, he forgets you. And not only do he forget you, he forgets your children as well. So it's very important that we turn back and we know that we are the chosen people of the Most High, God. And this ain't just to say I'm Israel. This is to get you back in order. Every car that you drive, every brand new car that you come get, guess what? It has a manual in it. A manual to know how to operate this car. If something wrong with this car, it show you how to get this car back on track. And all that. Our manual is the word of the Most High God. So if we knew this manual, guess what? You will be moving smooth. Baruch, let's see, King. I want to go back to Baruch chapter 4, verse 15.
All right, Baruch chapter 4, verse 15. And it reads, it says, for he hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language.
Man, when we was first brought over here on those cargo slave ships, we was not speaking a language. We was speaking Hebrew, your native tongue. Read, King.
Who neither reverenced old man.
He didn't care. And when he put our people in captivity, guess what? He didn't have respect for the old, or who else, King?
Nor pitied child.
Nor pitied the child. He didn't care about the child. So you once you able enough to talk and walk, guess what? You was in the cotton field as well until you died. And he didn't care if he was old or young. For real. Now, you got some, King?
No, you go ahead.
I want to bring out, like I said, we want to bring out some milk today, some real milk. We're going to go over some of these scriptures that's proven according to the Bible, not according to what we say, but according to the scriptures that the Israelites are indeed your black people, so-called black people. We're going to look how Christ looked. We're going to go how Jeremiah looked. We're going to go over some, we're going to see how some of these prophets in this book identified as, and we're going to let you be the judge. But whether you believe or not, it is what it is. Give me Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. We're going to get a good depiction on how Christ looked. And I know this is milk to some of our people that's online, but the milk is important. It keeps you sharp.
All right.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 14.
All right. Can I hit verse?
Yeah, it started at verse 11, I think.
Yes, sir. Revelation chapter 1, verse 10.
But you know what? Started at 1, King.
Okay. Revelation 1, beginning with verse 10. It says, the revelation of Christ, which the Most High gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bare record of the word of the Most High, and of the testimony of Christ, and of all things that he saw.
All things that he what?
That he saw.
So in order to see, you got to have what, King?
Eyes.
So we know it's a person, actual person seeing these things take place. So don't never let nobody convince you. Ain't nobody never seen Christ before. Man, according to Psalm 68 and 11, this is the word of the Most High God. So I'm going to go with this word. Read, King.
Verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth.
Blessed is he that what?
That readeth.
What one thing that Negroes don't do? You want to hide something from nigga, put it where? Our people don't like to read. So first, we need to read and get your understanding. We can't listen to the pastor or anybody else. You got to read for yourself. You got to make sure that what we saying is factual. Read, King.
And they that bear the words, like it, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein.
Some of our people ain't even willing to listen. Read, King.
For the time is at hand.
The time is what?
At hand.
So this is for your own life, your own salvation. Read, King.
John to the 7 churches which are in Asia. Grace be unto you, and peace from him which is, and which was, and which is to come, and from the 7 spirits which are before his throne, and from Christ, who is the faithful witness, and the first begotten of the dead, and the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us, and washed us from our sins in his own blood, and have made us kings and priests unto the Most High and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
Every what?
Every eye shall see him.
Read.
And they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Master, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. I, John, who also am your brother and companion in tribulations, and in the kingdom and patience of Christ, was in an isle that is called Patmos for the word of the Most High, and for the testimony of Christ. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day.
He was what?
In the spirit on the Lord's day.
Read.
And heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet, saying, I am Alpha and Omega.
Now, who just said they was Alpha and Omega? Read, King.
The first and the last. And what thou seest, write in a book.
What thou what?
Seest, write in a book.
So ain't nobody never seen Christ, right? What they say, King?
What thou seest,
he's seeing this. Read.
Write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna.
So if it wasn't important what Christ looked like, why would he say send this to the churches? Read, King.
And unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
He what?
I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
Read.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
The Son of Man. We know who that's. Yahweh shall read.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
So if you got on clothes, you got to have what, King? You got to have a body.
You got to have a body.
Read.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
So he had a golden girdle around. Read.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
What were they, King?
Were white like wool.
And we know what ethnic group has that texture of hair, woolly hair. We know that. There's one description. Read.
As white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet like unto fine brass.
His feet like unto what?
Fine brass.
And we know brass is a derivative of brown. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So if you take brass and burn it in a furnace, what you gonna get? You're gonna get a very dark person. Now we're saying it. Now we saw that's giving us a description on how Christ looked, right? I mean, how he looked. So let's see what tribe Christ descended from. Because Kanye said that black people descend from the tribe of Judah, right? And they just said that Christ was dark, right? Give me Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14.
The book of Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. For it is evident.
It is evident. This mean evident mean this is proof. They got proof of this. It's documented. It's factual. Read.
That our Lord sprang out of Judah.
That Christ came from where?
Out of Judah.
So how did Judah look? Give me Jeremiah 14 and 2.
Jeremiah 14 and 2. The book of Jeremiah chapter 14 verse 2. Judah mourneth.
Judah is in mourning. That means that, man, they crying out. Read.
And the gates thereof languish.
And the leadership has fallen. All of our leaders have been slain. Read.
They are black unto the ground.
They are what?
They are black unto the ground.
Give me Lamentations chapter 5 verse 10.
Lamentations 5 and 10. Get it.
And like I said, it's just the milk, but it's important that we know this milk. It's extremely important. So when someone asks you, how do you know that the Israelites are black people? You're supposed to be able to go into this book and show them. You could be winning up, help saving us all.
Lamentations 5 and what?
5 verse 10.
Lamentations chapter 5 verse 10. Our skin was black like an oven.
And they what?
Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine.
These the Israelites. Give me Job 30 and 30. Let's see how Job looked like. Let's see how Job looked like.
The book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30. My skin is black upon me.
What did Job just say?
My skin is black upon me.
Read on.
And my bones are burned with heat.
Man, last one came. Give me Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5.
Solomon.
1 and 5.
The Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
I am black.
What Solomon say he is?
I am black.
Read.
But come,
Uh-huh.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem,
Uh-huh.
as the tents of Kedar,
Uh-huh.
as the curtains of Solomon.
And I got one last one came. This Isaiah chapter 29, verse 22. The last one. So, according to these scriptures, Kanye West ain't lying.
Mm-hmm.
We are the children of Israel. So keep pushing this word, brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Keep informing people around you, brothers and sisters, that's, you know, that want to know the knowledge that has these questions. You know, it's a lot of people out here just trying to figure it out. Some people, we see a lot of mass majority of people leaving the so-called Christian church. They leave in the church and they got answers. They want answers. They want to know, like, you know, what's going on. You know, I've been hearing this Hebrew thing for a while, and make sure you being a good ambassador. You know what I'm saying? For the word. You know, you don't have to argue and debate. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say, my sheep hear my voice. Mm-hmm. So just tell them, let them know this ain't nothing you got to force down a person's throat. You know what I'm saying? If it's for them, they're going to get them. You know what I'm saying? Read, King.
All right. The book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 22.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, thus saith the Most High, who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob. Jacob shall not now be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale.
So, hey, there it is. So, hey, Israelites are the same as as old as it is today. Ain't nothing changed. You know, so that's all I had, King.
Indeed. So let me get Jeremiah.
Yes, sir.
On that note, Jeremiah 16 and 19. So it said Jacob's face would never wax pale. So what it's telling us is that these Israelites, you know, they gonna remain with that same hue, or at least within the same spectrum. Why is that important? Because the people that's banning folks, the people that's blackballing a lot of the entertainers, the people that's blackballing a lot of people, period, in business, are the Jewish, the fake Jews, the ones who stole their identity at our time of which we're gonna get there too, Jeremiah 17 and 4. But read that right quick. Jeremiah 16, 19.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
O Lord, my strength, my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction.
Mm-hmm.
The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth.
The Gentiles shall come to the Most High from the ends of the earth. These are the people that's not Israelites. Go ahead.
And shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lives.
Surely our fathers inherited lives. So this thing was passed down. They were taught and bamboozled into thinking that they are the chosen people. At the same time that we've been taught that we not the people. So they remove us, but all of this was a part of the, you know, us disobeying the Creator. But it said these folks inherited the lies. So as they sit in our position, claiming to be us, claiming to be the Shemitic people, which you want understanding on that, you got Noah. After the deluge and the flood, right? It said the whole earth was repopulated through his 3 sons and their wives, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right, so when you follow those bloodlines, matter of fact, let me get some out of this book here.
Yes, sir.
Zondervan Bible
You want
Dictionary.
me to get it for you, brother?
Go ahead. So again, when you read Genesis 9, you read Genesis 10, and it's telling us about the repopulation of the earth after the Most High sent the flood. Give me the definition of Ham.
This is in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
The definition of Ham. The youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races.
All right, the progenitor of the dark races, the father. Go ahead.
Not the Negroes.
Not the Negroes. So within this record is giving you a description to let you know that everybody who melanated is not an Israelite. So this why for some of us coming up through school when we were taught about slavery, they said it was black people or Africans selling Africans. Africans, and listen, the title is Africans, and then they call us African Americans. Two different people. All right, let's go further with the thought. Many people would just group in the Asians. They say, well, this Asian, you a Chinese? If you call a Chinese a Korean or a Japanese, the right one, they'll be offended. They look alike, but they're not the same people. They were close, in close proximity of where they were living and their habitation, but they're not the same people. This is important. All right, so again, even in a time where we were dealing with the chattel slavery, why in any given time where it's kingdoms at war, and you have prisoners of war, the country that whose people or citizens were taken, like it was on Brittany Griner.
Yep.
You know, they negotiated about Brittany Griner. You seen it in the news. The people are aware, okay, we got an American over here in Russia, if I'm not mistaken. So that same type of mindset, when it comes down to prisoner of war, while we were in chattel slavery, hard bondage, why didn't the Africans come and free us? Why didn't they come and fight? Why didn't nobody else come to war for us? If we are the same people, because we're not. And even further than that, there was a punishment placed on us for breaking the commandments, for us not knowing or rejecting the knowledge, like what the brother brought out earlier, that we the chosen people. All right, is it more on that verse?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I'm going to start from the top. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes.
Not the Negroes. Go to Shem, the definition of Shem. So when you hear people say, well, he's being anti-Semitic, they saying Sem, but it's really Shem. All right, saying that their bloodline coming from Adam down to Noah, down to Shem, his son Shem, tracing on down to what you get your if I go back up the bloodline to Seth before you get to Shem, and we get all these different patriarchs within the bloodline who did special things, Methuselah and Enoch and Jared and so on and so forth. That trickles on down to Abraham, and from Abraham to Isaac, and from Isaac to Jacob. Jacob wrestled with the angel, and from there he gained the blessing. He said, you will no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, which to mean to be a prince of the power. He said, you will have power with God and man. All right, so then that title expands out to all the children of Israel, to our people. I will read that definition of Shem.
This is the book of Shem, second son of Noah, the progenitor of the Semitic race, was born 98 years before the flood and lived 600 years, outliving his descendants for 9 generations, excepting Eber and Abraham.
Excepting Eber and Abraham. Now, this is important to let you know that this is the bloodline that Abraham come from. You know what I'm saying? He comes from the line of Shem. So then we follow that line. And we see that these are the people who the Most High have been constantly dealing with, passing his rich heritage down to. All right, but what happened? Let's go to Jeremiah.
Yes, sir.
Jeremiah 9. As I made mention of our disobedience and what the brother brought out from Baruch. We provoked the Most High. He said, listen, man, I done gave y'all this rich heritage, but y'all don't want to listen. You want to be everything but royalty, but the royal priesthood. You want to be like these other nations. So I tell you what, I'm going to give you some tough love. I'm going to turn my back on you. I'm going to reject you since you rejected me. And their rejection came with prostitution. Their rejection came with drug addictions. Their rejection came with suicide, depression, demon possession. That rejection came with people going to get the tattoo sleeves because they said, well, I'm addicted to this fit. It made me feel good. Defiling the temple of the Most High. That came with so many other things that was against the nature of what he wanted us to do. And I'm not saying that to talk about anybody who's dealing with those things right now. We're praying that the Most High, we ready to go to war and fast so that we can be delivered from those things. We were delivered from some of those things. So we laying this message out to let you know, man, it ain't too late. Recognize who you are, accept your identity, and stand up and be royalty. Mm-hmm. It's time for us to stand in our rightful positions. All right, what I tell you to get?
Jeremiah 9, which one came?
Start with 13.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Jeremiah 9, verse 13, chapter 9, verse 13. Mm-hmm. And the Lord said, because they have forsaken my law, which I set before them, and have not obeyed my voice, neither walked therein, but have walked after the imagination of their own heart.
Imagination, doing what you want to do. Go ahead.
And after Balaam, which their fathers taught them. Therefore, thus say the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood.
I will feed you with wormwood. There's nothing sweet. Go ahead.
And give them water of gall to drink. I will scatter them.
I will scatter them. Go ahead.
Also among the heathen.
Among the heathen. Go ahead.
Whom neither they nor their fathers have known. And I will send a sword after them till I have consumed them. Thus say the Lord of hosts, consider ye and call for the mourning of women.
This is it on it. Let's go to Luke 21.
Yes,
so
sir.
The Most High said, because they didn't listen, because they didn't keep my commandments, because they want to serve these devils and these idols, said, I'm going to scatter you among the heathens. And being amongst these people, you're not going to learn your heritage as we see. They didn't educate us on this history. During the time of Black History Month in schools, they don't teach us about J. Edgar Hoover creating a branch of the FBI, CIA, saying that the whole guideline, the whole objective of that particular group that he created was to stop any Black messiahs. This is information that you can find. They came up with a 5-point system on how to prevent any Black messiahs or the rising of anybody that would lead Black people or Negro people out of the conditions that we've been in. This is why you get Martin Luther King getting assassinated. After he said, he woke up and said, I feel like I led my people into a burning building. He said, well, you know what, the sanitation workers, guess what? We ain't gonna do nothing affecting the economic system. This is why Malcolm X gets assassinated. Because he said, you the dry bones that he talking about. Y'all the chosen people, Ezekiel 37. This is why Fred Hampton gets killed. This is why we seeing all these people go through the thing that they went through. Because the objective is to keep Israelites down, banned, and out the way. Keep them as slaves, not as masters, not as rulers, not as royalty. All right, what I tell you to get, son?
Luke 21, verse
24.
Gotcha. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
It said we led captive into all nations. Now understand this, brothers and sisters, because we made mention of being brought to this country, you know what I mean, on the cargo slave ships. So the Most High removed us from our native land, Jerusalem, right? All right, let's go to Ezekiel.
Yes, sir.
Because in the meanwhile, something happened. Even as we see, I mentioned the fake Jews, and if any of them watching, you are a fake Jew.
Which one, Ezekiel, what game?
Ezekiel 36 and 5.
Yes,
if you love the Most High, this for any Gentile listen. If you love the Most High, you got to love his people. And if you love his people, you're going to do what's necessary for the people to get back connected with the Most High. To be restored, not somebody that's going to confuse them or keep them detached. You're going to encourage them and be there for them to help them get there. If you say you're, because it said the Gentiles don't cleave to us. Don't be surprised about that. All right, but in the meanwhile, when we were cast out the land, this is something that happened. Ezekiel 36 and 5.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 5. Therefore, thus say the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession.
Appointed his land into their possession. Why is this important? Because while we not in the land, they're in our land. And they've appointed it for a possession for them to prosper and to defile it. This is why one of the biggest sodomite parades goes on over there in the Holy Land. Go ahead.
Which have appointed my land into their possessions with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey.
To cast it out for a prey. It's not being kept holy. It's not being separated or set apart. It's being defiled as well as the people. I go to Revelation 2 though. All right. Revelation chapter 2. Revelation chapter 2, then we're going to get verse 9.
2. All right. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works.
I know thy works. The Most High, he's not far from us to not know what we've been going through. Go ahead.
And tribulation.
And tribulation, even what the brother was bringing out. Some of us being tired. Keep going. He know your works. He know the efforts that you put in. He know when you restrain yourself, when you do want to snap. He know this. He know when you doing his will. Go ahead.
In poverty.
In poverty.
But thou art rich.
But thou art rich. Now, the Most High said that he know our poverty. Now, matter of fact, before I said I don't want to go ahead. What did he say?
I know thy poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
The blasphemy of them that say they Jews, go ahead.
And are not.
And are not.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
But the synagogue of Satan. Now, the point that I was going to drive from it about the poverty. Do you know that the Jewish, these are gateways into so many businesses? Understand is Diamond District, gas business, the music industry, the industry of videography, cinematography, Hollywood, entertainment, sports. Yeah. This is why if a person says anything against them, they say, "Are you being anti-Semitic?" And then you don't see these people no more, or their careers start spiraling out of control. I'm saying that to say the Jewish are not impoverished. They're not in poverty. That's a telltale sign for you to know according to the Bible, according to the book, not your feelings and emotions, but according to truth, that these are not the people. They're not suffering the things that we've suffered. All right? Let me see what I wanted. Something else I wanted.
Okay.
You had some? All right, let's go to Leviticus 26.
Yes, sir.
So I want to show a few things about how whole Leviticus 26 and then go to Matthew 24. Matthew 24 and 22.
Got you. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 22. And except those days be shortened.
Except those days be shortened, the times of tribulation, the times of so much peril. Make sure y'all go back and read the full chapter of any verse that we done brought out today. Check behind us and for your own soul salvation. But he said, read that again.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 21.
20. Okay, cool. That's good.
21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Verse 22, and except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, for the elect's sake,
go ahead.
Those days shall be shortened.
Those days gonna be shortened for the elect's sake. So we wonder, like, it seemed like time moving so fast. It was just, hey man, we was just celebrating Tabernacles last year.
Now we doing it in 2 days.
What you mean? The month we in another month already?
Yep.
Seem like time sped up. That's for your sake, Israelite. That's for you true Jews. Not the ones who claiming our heritage, who went into the land in 1948, getting off a ship saying that this is their land. No, not for them, for you melanated saints. who your bloodline, you descend from these Negro people. All right, he said for the elect's sake. So let's clarify that. Go to Isaiah 45:4. Precept upon precept, line upon line. I want to know who the elect is. Who is the elect? Who is the elect?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect.
Israel, my who?
Elect.
Israel is his elect. This is his chosen. This is the one who he selected. Go ahead.
I have even called thee by thy name.
Mm-hmm.
I have surnamed thee,
Mm-hmm.
though thou hast not known me.
I have surnamed, though you have not known. He's married to us. All right, now let's go to Leviticus 26.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the Leviticus 26. Don't let me forget 2nd Ezra 6 either. 2nd Ezra 6 and 54. Isaiah 30, I need them.
Okay. Leviticus 26.
Leviticus 26. Let me get that with you. All right, so I want to talk about a few of the things, the blessings that came with the obedience, right? And how far detached we are from those blessings, and why these other nations are fearful of us waking up and actually obeying the Most High. All right, so Leviticus 26. Let's start with, let me see. Hit 3 for the context.
Okay. We're going to start at verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 3. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield in her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and you shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely.
And dwell in your lands. The Most High said, if you obey me, you're going to have a surplus of your substance. It's going to reach for seasons beyond, to vintage, to the old. You will be eating off your old fruit. So we have heard in the songs, the people rapping, they say, I got old money, it's growing hair. It's growing mold on the money. That type of stuff. The Most High is saying, listen, you're going to have so much to where you'll be eating off your old profit for a long time. Keep going.
And I will give you peace in the land, and you shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid.
All right, he said he'll give us peace. Understand that nowadays you got people cutting themselves to find peace. They said it's peaceable for me to cut my wrists. All right, being detached. Whereas the Most High said he will give us shalom in the land, and we'll dwell safely. Go ahead.
And I will rid evil beasts out of the land. Neither shall the sword go through your land. And you shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword.
Listen to this. He said, you're going to chase them. Go ahead.
And 5 of you shall chase 100.
5 of us would chase 100 off. So now we're going into, why is it so much division amongst Israelites? Why is it so much division between the black people? Why they hate each other so much? It's a part of the programming. We were trained, they put it in our movies. They put it in our music. They put it in our clothes and promote it through the TVs and the radio stations. They put it in the food. They taught it to us through the prison pipeline education system. But if 5 of us would run off 100, listen, what would 500 of them do? Keep going. What did it say?
And 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight.
And 100 of us could chase off 10,000 of our enemies. So if I'm an enemy to these people, it's going to be in my best interest to keep them divided, separated for any purpose and any reason. And now we see the segue of the Willie Lynch. Now we see the reason of the Willie Lynch effect, the syndrome of it, and the purpose of bringing that whole mind state of philosophy, that system. All right. He said 100 of us gonna put 10,000 of them to flight.
And your enemies shall fall before you by the sword.
All right. So we've been soldiers, but we've lost it. He said he's gonna break our strength. So let me go down. Now let's jump into the juxtapose or the parallel of it. That was a blessing if we be obedient. All right. Let's see. Verse 14.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 14. But if you would not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if ye despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye would not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning age that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart, and you shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it.
All right, so the Most High said, I'm gonna appoint terror over you. So whereas we used to be so bold and fearless, he said, I'm gonna make y'all cowards. Y'all gonna be cowards. So now we're going into why is it that you would have a plantation with only 4 of the oppressors, but the plantation got 25 to 100 slaves and they won't revolt. Or they all shook and in fear. This is what was going on. Now, and there's aside from the fact now that they do educate us on what they want us to know, it was a whole lot more revolts than that of Nat Turner. Don't forget about Denmark Vesey and the others who rose up. But that too is a part of the strategy to keep you disconnected from your heritage. All right. Let me see. It's something else I want out of this. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 18. And if you will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins. And I will break the pride of your power.
I will break the pride of your power.
I will make your heaven as an iron, and your earth as brass, and your strength shall be spent in vain. For your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruits. And if you walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. And I will send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children, and destroy your cattle, and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate.
Your highways will be so from falling from this royalty, brothers and sisters. Go back and read this. Read Leviticus 26 to see how far we fell. But all praises to the Most High for turning this thing around.
All praises.
He said the earth, the truth gonna spring up from the earth. And now we getting it. Now we turn this thing around. Let's go to Isaiah. Well, before Isaiah, let's get the second Esdras 6. Second Esdras 6. So we're still talking about that importance. Still verifying what happened within it. How did we get to where we are? So second Esdras 6, and then prior to that, I'm getting a whole bunch of them. Whole second Esdras 6, and give me that Jeremiah 17. And so this is a part of why you know they say, hey, don't bring the Bible into the schools. let that be something else. You know, separate that from that even being a course. You know, you got your science and your math, and you got your reading courses and classes. Man, the school should have, okay, now we need to go get this word in. All right. What I tell you is Jeremiah 17:4.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
All right, so a part of this, of our disobedience, Most High said, you're going to discontinue from your heritage. And so then we see it reflected in our households where things is turned around to where the women are running things. The children running things. The man, he just can't do right. He doing everything but what a man's supposed to do. So you're going to discontinue from your heritage. We killing each other for blocks that we do not own. We don't own these blocks. We don't own these communities. We don't own nothing in our communities. That's a curse too. In Deuteronomy 28, it tells you, said that the strangers within you going to get up very high. But thou shalt come down very low, saying when you walk out your door and you decide to go get some gas in your neighborhood, it's going to be an Arab to meet you. When you go get you some food to eat, it might be a Negro at the window if it's fast food or something, but that establishment is owned by a European. You want to go get you some type of bracelet or you know, a drum or something, you probably go to a flea market and you're going to be met by these Hamites. All right, so it's all these other people running things in our neighborhood and we don't own nothing. Well, I tell you, so we discontinue from their heritage. Now let's go to second Esdras.
Yes, sir. Second Esdras, call that for the people.
Second Esdras chapter 6. Hit 53. Hit 53. 53, I'm gonna get that with you too. Second Esdras chapter 6. So this is coming from the Apocrypha. I passed it already. Let's see, second Esdras.
Second Esdras. Hold on. Right, second Esdras.
Second Esdras chapter 6.
All right, 6 and what came?
Start with 54.
I got you. This is the book of Second Esdras in the Apocrypha, chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou hast made Lord over all thy creatures, of him come we all.
So Ezra is having a conversation with the angel Uriel, who is a voice for the Most High. All right, so he said, listen, of Adam come all, everybody come from Adam. All right, but what did he say after that?
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Including the people who you chose. Go ahead.
Okay, let me go back. My bad, can't.
That's cool.
Okay. After all, hold on, no. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
The Most High made the world for Israel. He made it for our sakes. That's how special we are. Keep going.
Verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that fall from a vessel.
All right, so let me clarify this. He said that the Most High see these other nations as nothing. He got the right to feel like that. He made us all. If we read Jeremiah, he told Jeremiah, go down to the potter's house. Jeremiah get there and he see, the potter with the potter's wheel. And he's seen the potter mar the clay. And he asked Jeremiah, he said, don't I got the authority to do that with Israel? You in my hand, I can make a vessel to honor or to dishonor. It's up to the Creator. We didn't make ourselves. But he said he made the world for our sakes. Special above all people. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Let's get that.
You want to do it on 7 and 6?
Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Let me see. Yep, Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. And then we still got the article.
Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
A special people. Go ahead.
Above all that are upon the face of the earth.
Above all nations. Above all nations. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Let me get this right quick. I got you. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor chose you because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, have the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, for the hand of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Verse 9. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God.
He is the Most High.
The faithful God, which keep covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
So now we seeing Hosea 4:6 say, if you reject him, he gonna reject you and forget your children through disobedience. But if we obey him, uphold it, he said he'll pass that mercy down. This is another reason why we're being detached and taught against the covenant, brothers and sisters. All right, so I'm getting ready to finish off. I got Isaiah 52.
Okay.
That's why I end what I got.
Gotcha, King.
And then if you got something else, and then we can open it up for any questions anybody might have.
You want 52 and what, King?
52:21.
This is the book of Isaiah. Hold on. You sure that's 52?
Isaiah 52 coming.
52 and 21?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. 52. Oh, you're right. No.
Let me see what you got.
No, it ain't no. You got the.
Salaki. All right, let me see.
What scripture you look for?
Afflict them. He said he's gonna afflict our enemies. Let's see. Afflict them. All right, let's see. Isaiah
63 and 9?
63 and 9.
No. In all their affliction.
Let me see. I'm finna get it. 51:23.
51:23.
So start with 21 though. Salaki.
51:23.
51:21. Yeah.
51. All right. I got you, King.
There we go.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 51, verse 23. And it reads, but I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over.
So we didn't came down to a point where, you know how a person
Just walk over you.
Walk over you.
You know?
Might be some water, some in the street dirt, and you lay your coat down so this person won't have to get the feet muddy or whatever. Said the Most High said, we didn't come down to the point where we are those vessels that the people are walking over. But he said he gonna afflict them for that. All right, so with that being said, family, the message that was driven is that we the salt of the earth. We special people. All right, and the way that we get back to our rightful position, we got to go back to the Most High.
That's right.
We got to come back to our culture, rejecting it and doing away with what we've been taught by this wicked system. They tell us that it's okay to be a witch. It's okay to pimp out the daughters of Zion. It's okay for, for us to do whatever we want to do that's against the Most High. This is not the world. Living that life, the end of it going to be torments. You're going to suffer on this side and then turn around and suffer forever. All right? But we the special people. We are the true Jews.
Oh, praise.
All right, so let me get that article though before we close out.
You want to get?
Indeed.
Okay, now this article was written by the Hill newspaper. We just want to get, let's see. Yeah, so start from the top, King. I read it though.
From the top.
So this is the Hill. It was an article brought out about Kanye West due to him making the claim that black folks are the Israelites. So this is what the article reads. It says the leaders of the bipartisan congressional caucus dedicated to supporting relations between Black and Jewish America. So you got some Black sellouts really working with these folks and addressing issues that impact both groups. Released a statement Wednesday denouncing rapper Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, for his anti-Semitic comments he has made recently. The heads of the Congressional Caucus on Black Jewish Relations, Representative Brenda Lawrence, a Democrat from Michigan, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, a Democrat from Florida, and Lee Zeldin, a Republican from New York, said in a statement that they strongly condemn the remarks. This kind of inflammatory rhetoric and perpetration of stereotypes fuel violence amid a rise in anti-Semitism and racism throughout the country, they said. Words have consequences, which is why the Black and Jewish community must stand together to make clear there is no room for this kind of hurtful and hateful rhetoric. Ye made multiple anti-Semitic posts on social media over the weekend, leading to his Twitter and Instagram accounts being suspended. Controversy arose after Instagram took down a post from the rapper in which he suggested that rapper and record producer Sean Diddy Combs is controlled by Jewish people. He later tweeted that he was going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. He said in the tweet that he could not be anti-Semitic because Black people are actually Jew. Ye seemed to be referring to the ideology of the Black Hebrew Israelites who claim that Black people are the true descendants of the Israelites in the Bible. Some, but not all, Black Hebrew Israelite hold anti-Semitic views and believe other races are inferior to Blacks, according to the Anti-Defamation League. All praises to the Most High that this word and this truth is getting out there. So bad publicity is good publicity.
Indeed. Something I wanted to say too. That Black Hebrew Israelite, I don't rock with it. You know what I mean? For me, seeing it, this like some COINTELPRO stuff. Yeah. Because we are Hebrew Israelite. You ain't got to put Black on front of it.
And we're not Black.
You understand it? All right. But that's what we have for today, brothers and sisters. If you got any questions or comments or concerns, we're gonna hold up a moment to answer those. If the Father give us the mouth to answer those questions. If it's no questions or comments or concerns, then through the week, and you think of something later on, send it to Children of the Prophets 144@gmail.com. Let me drop it in what's my hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, share the video as well. Let's see, Children of the Prophets. Prophets 144@gmail.com. So send it there. Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. Everybody who's tuning in, everybody who will, over YouTube, over Facebook, and any other means that y'all may be viewing. I pray the word was edifying, strengthening. Don't forget the song that was played at the top of the video was by Code Ryan, the Hebrew Infantry, along with myself. See what y'all saying over here. I'm waiting on any questions, any comments before we close out, Saints. Any questions, any comments? Go ahead with it. What's the question?
Still lacking.
Indeed.
It's cold.
What's the question, Sister Weezy? Stephen Dessy, much love to you as well. Shabbat Shalom, Ashkal. All right, Sister Weezy, do you think we should leave America? I think any pilgrimage or voyage as far as anybody leaving America, the book tells us to be fully persuaded in our own minds. So if the Most High has given a person the unction to do that, I think they should. If you feel and you fully persuaded in your own mind to stay in America, then so be it. All praise to the Most High for the milk. Indeed, indeed. The milk is important. You know, a lot of times we're looking for the major breakdowns and, you know, the super secrets and all this stuff. And many people ain't even digested the milk good enough. Don't forget that it was the milk that brought so many people into the fold. You know what I mean? We got to start with the identity. And we also, brothers and sisters, got to remember that it's not just about knowing that we Israelites. It's about being Israelites. It's about us actually being those people. So it's not something that we put on and it's a show and we do it, you know, when we get ready. Because whether a person know that they're Israelite or not, when they get to rolling out all these other type of plans that they got set up, that we reading about in 2nd Ezra 16, you know, the propaganda agenda, whatever you want to call it, that the machine got, including freezing mankind with machine. Listen, they not going to care whether you are an awakened Israelite or not. The whole thing is that you're an Israelite. So now we're going into the understanding of why it was important for us to keep the Feast of Purim. One Israelite didn't bow to Haman, this Amalekite. Or this Agagite, but he comes from Amalek. He was a Caucasian. He would be a modern day Caucasian. But because this one Israelite didn't bow, he said, kill all of them. The men, the women, and the children. And that's the mindset that the system have. If we don't bow to them, if we don't bend or bow to the system, at any given moment, the Most High can pour his spirit out on you and activate you. Especially if you seeking. He said, I'm going to pour out my spirit upon all flesh, your sons and your daughters. So they're going to prophesy, they're going to dream dreams. So knowing that he didn't put out this spread, this net on the people. Now, any Israelite that's alive is a threat to the system of the dark kingdom. All right, so when he gave out the blessing to Abraham, he said, listen, in your seed, the families of the earth gonna be blessed. Anytime the Most High do something, it got more than just one purpose and one effect. So if we gonna be the blessing, understand that you can have a company that got one Israelite working there. And if that Israelite that's working at the company transgressing and taking part in the paganism, he or she consuming and celebrating Christmas and Halloween and whatever else, that's gonna make their company prosper. All right, but the moment that brother or sister say, I ain't with it. If we all just, what Sister we saying, if we all just got up and left America, man, this would be, it'll be a 10th world country, not even a third world country. Israelites, we are the salt of the earth. All right, Dinner Root Riley, I have a question too. How do we take a mixed mother mindset? All races being mixed before at one point of time, from example, brothers like Bob Marley. How do we take a mixed mutter mindset? What do you mean and how do we take it? Let me see. Even without having a sharp understanding on what you mean exactly, I'll say this. Romans 8 and 16 tell us, the Spirit bear witness that we are the sons of the Most High. So a person can say that they this or say that, you know what I mean? But your spirit gonna be the telltale sign of who you really are. Whether you a child of the devil and Satan and the world, or whether you're a child of the Most High and light. So, you know, as much as lie within you, be at peace with all men. Do what you're supposed to do to get in the kingdom. The Most High, he'll filter out the rest. Kirsty Davis, okay, what's your question? Every man gonna stand before the Most High. He gonna part the sheep and the goat. Kirsty Davis, you got a question? I'm trying to see if somebody else said something. Anthony James, shalom to you. Nah, indeed. Galatians 5 says we're not under the law. Can I explain it? Let's see. Let's go to Galatians 5. Well, even without just, because I know what Galatians 5 speaks on. When we're talking about we're not under the law, this is a situation that this is a situation that people oftentimes get caught up in, not understanding. Even this is why it's in the book. People they end up getting confused and leaving the faith because they don't understand Paul. But before you get to Paul, you got to deal with what Christ said. And understanding that Paul is not going to go against the Messiah. So Matthew 5 and 17 tell us, let me get it for those who may not be aware of it. Matthew 5 and 17. Give me a con if everything's still coming through, if the visual and audio being restored. I'm trying to wait before I go ahead. Con, if everything coming through. Okay, all praise to the Most High. All right, so Matthew 5 and 17. It's the Messiah talk. It says, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. All right. So we talking about if Paul saying the verse mentioning of not being on the law, in the sense that as the book tell you that the law wasn't made for a person that's spiritual. All right, the law come with consequences. Right now, just veering is I don't take it that anybody is jaywalking, but there's consequences that come with it. But by you being occupied in this, that's a law, but you don't have to worry about the consequence. You're not under the punishment that come with it because you're not breaking that law. All right, but let's go to Revelation. So we can even go past it, go to the end. Let's go to Revelation 22. So the law, we wouldn't know what sin was if we didn't have the law, if we didn't have the commandments. If the world was a place of lawlessness, it wouldn't be a problem for this man to sleep with your wife. It wouldn't be a problem for this man to rob you and take whatever goods that you have. We won't have to worry about a Sabbath day, holy days, none of that. You can steal and do it will be the mindset that Aleister Crowley taught the people. Do what thou wilt. Do what you want to do. All right, Revelation 22, verse, 14. It says, blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. All right, so we blessed when we do the commandments, when we keep the law. All right, the law is the guideline to give us a moral compass. All right, so I pray that answered your question, though, Saint. Any other question or comment before we close out? Bless you. Any other question or comment before we close out? Let's see. Let's see. All right. Galatians 5:18 says, be led by the Spirit, not the law. All right. So let me get something right quick. Let's see, right quick. So Romans 7:14 says, for we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. All right, so again, a person being led by the Spirit, if you're being led by the Spirit, it's going to lead you to obey the Supreme Spirit. And the Supreme Spirit gave us laws and commandments, gave us statutes to abide by. Indeed, send it to me, Weezy. Let's see. Something else I want. Yeah, it's spiritual. All right. Can people change at heart? The heart is the man that says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." So yeah, and that's how you get the change. Matter of fact, let me get it. Let's go to Psalm. I want some. What is that? Let's see where we at here. The book of Psalm, or Psalm 19:7 says, "The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul." So it changes a person. The testimony of the Most High is sure, making wise the simple. So it transforms you, or in other cases, it brings out what's really in you. All right, but it says the law of the Most High, the commandments, obeying what the Most High say, it converts the soul. So yeah, a person can be transformed. They can be changed in that sense. Read the Bible said, "Is it true that Paul was addressing Gentiles?" Paul was addressing Gentiles, Hebrews that was, had a Gentile mindset, as well as addressing natural born Gentiles. So is it wrong? Is it wrong to feel empathy for the other nations that's going through the Most High wrath? Do we pray for them, or just say, "Let the Most High will be done," and ask them to take their feeling away? You got to understand, at one point in time, the Most High told Jeremiah not to even pray for Israelites. Now, I'm saying that to say, if you led to pray for them, that's you. Others are not moved to pray for them. In your prayer for him, if he decides to punish anybody, Israelite or Gentile, your prayers ain't going to do nothing. If he done made the decree and that's what he want, that's what's going to be done. Let's see. Okay. The book tells us, if we dealing with anybody who rejecting the word, we're not called to wrestle and wrangle a person down and make them believe. So if you didn't drop the word on them and they reject it, when you feel like in your spirit you want to try them again because you got that much concern and care for them or love for them or however, and you try them again and they reject it, listen, after 2 times, it said after the second admonition, reject. So if you go any further than that to try to convince a person, then that's you trying for your own sanity. But we don't have to tell anybody more than twice. And it tells us to walk in wisdom to redeem the time. Some people, they complete heretics. Some people, they don't really care about salvation. They just want to argue and debate with you. Choose who you decide to, speak to. Give them a little bit. If they don't receive it, then you keep moving. Save that energy for somebody who will hear the word. Somebody who will accept it. Let's see, there was something I just was looking at. Okay, Dylan Ryder said, if the Israelites destroy idols back in time past, and we've been stolen and given into other nation hands, is it safe to say we can take it all back and destroy things ourselves? The saints gonna take the kingdom. All right, but before the saints take the kingdom, when we read Daniel, along with Revelation, you run those together. Both of those help, our understanding. It's certain prophecies that got to take place before the saints take the kingdom. It's certain things that have to happen before that particular war roll out. It's a time for it, but I'm not gonna tell you that it's time now, because it's things that still haven't taken place. Okay, all praise to the Most High. If we saw, just like during the time of George Floyd, they were working on getting a document or a doctrine or an amendment put in place to where if a person vandalized a store or anybody's property, then the owner of their property will have the right to kill that person.
Okay. Man.
All right, so I'm saying that to say how the system is set up at this moment. We decide to go out and, they took down the statues and they had their persuasion of why they did it. But nonetheless, we get the system is not built for Israelites. So we waiting on we're gonna have a green light. Trust, it's gonna be a green light from the Most High. All right, no other questions, comments, or concerns. If not, again, we're gonna close out. We're gonna be at y'all the Most High speed, that He keep you, that He strengthen you, that He strengthens us. And that anybody who's dealing with, death in the family, just remember, it says that merciful men are taken away, and nobody lays it to heart that he removed them to spare them from the evils to come. Keep that in mind. All right. Any question, comments, or concern you think of later on, shoot it to childrenoftheprophets144@gmail.com. Appreciate the Most High, Saint. All right, shalom, saints. Shalom, family.